Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're taking some really complex technical documentation and breaking it down so you can get the absolute most out of your tools. And I have to say, if you've been running AI locally, you are going to love this one. We're looking at a brand new desktop app plugin called Hermes Bot Mode, which comes to us from Noose Research. So let's just dive right into it, because this isn't just some minor incremental update. No, this plugin completely transforms how we manage multiple AI agents on our local machines. Instead of wrangling all these isolated instances of code, we're going to see how to build a fully functioning digital staff. It's pretty amazing.
Think about it for a second. What if your AI agents could actually talk to each other? For developers and power users, managing multiple AI profiles has always meant a lot of really siloed work, right? You've got one agent dedicated to coding, maybe another one for research, one for writing, but they exist in total isolation. If you want them to collaborate, you're the one stuck doing all the copying and pasting between them. But what if you didn't have to? What if you could literally just introduce them to each other? Well, that is the exact problem this plugin solves, and honestly, it does it brilliantly.
All right, Section 1. Meet your AI roster. Building your digital staff.
So, to actually bring this digital staff to life, we move away from abstract code and into a highly structured roster. Once you install the plugin, you get this brand new Bots tab that pops up right next to your standard Sessions tab on the left side of your screen. It creates a completely dedicated Bots pane. Every single agent profile you have gets its very own row. So at just a quick glance, you can see their customized avatar, a little text preview of the absolute last message they sent you, and a timestamp showing exactly when they were last active. It honestly feels exactly like looking at a team chat application like Slack or Discord. And if you need to work with one of them, just click their row and boom, you jump straight into their dedicated chat.
And actually building out this team is ridiculously fast. You can spin up a brand new AI employee in literally seconds. The new agent menu just asks you for a name, a title, and a really brief description. That is the whole shebang. That's all it takes to initialize a new worker on your system. Or, if you already have a profile that you absolutely love, you can just right-click and duplicate it. It runs a full clone, copying the config, the skills, the memory, and even its specific look.
Moving right along to Section 2, personalizing your bots, giving AI a face and a personality.
Because, let's be real, an AI team shouldn't just feel like a boring spreadsheet. You've got so many incredible options for avatars here. You can pick from these really cute geometric faces. They come in 7 different shapes and 10 colors, and they actually have blinking eyes that scan back and forth while the bot is actively processing a prompt. Or, of course, you can upload any custom image you want. Plus, if you have an image backend configured, you can just generate a completely new AI portrait right there inside the app. But okay, I have to admit, my absolute favorite feature is the Pixel Pet. You can actually give your avatar a little Pixel Pet companion that literally bounces up and down beside the avatar while the bot is busy thinking. It is just such a playful, helpful little visual cue.
But hey, don't let the cute bouncing pets fool you. The crucial point here is that underneath those friendly faces is a seriously robust advanced profile configuration menu. By right-clicking any bot and hitting Edit Profile, you can dive deep into the technical weeds. You can pin specific AI models or providers directly to specific bots. You can write entirely custom SolMD system prompts, which basically dictates exactly how that bot behaves and thinks. You can even toggle specific skills and toolsets on or off, so you're tailoring each bot for its exact job title while easily skipping any bundled skills it just doesn't need.
Okay, Section 3. Bots, talking to bots. The agent inbox and handoffs.
Now we get to the real magic, inter-agent communication. And it is incredibly seamless. Let's say you're in the middle of chatting with your main coding bot, right? But suddenly you realize you need some documentation pulled. Well, right there in the chat, you simply type @researcher, have a look at this. That standard @mention mechanism actually triggers a handoff. Your active bot just pauses, hands that specific message off to the researcher bot, waits patiently for the researcher to finish its job, and then reports back to you with the final results. It is fluid, immediate collaboration, and you never even have to switch your context.
And when that handoff actually happens, the bots know exactly who they are talking to. Every single bot has a persistent agent inbox conversation running quietly in the background. So when a bot receives a message from one of its peers, it comes with crystal clear attribution. You'll actually see a distinct message from agent researcher tag right in your history. This is huge because it completely solves the hallucination problem where agents just forget who actually gave them a prompt.
So how do they know what to do with all that? Well, that custom SOLMD file we mentioned earlier actually teaches the bots this exact messaging protocol. It teaches them exactly how to reply to their peers, but it actually goes way beyond just spontaneous messaging. The plugin introduces a routines pane that's docked right beside the conversation. This lets you schedule recurring tasks for specific bots
all powered seamlessly in the background by Hermes Cron. So imagine setting up a routine that simply says, summarize my inbox every morning. The absolute genius here is that this routine lives right next to the specific bot assigned to do it, and when the routine runs, the output lands directly in that bot's own chat history. Everything stays perfectly, beautifully organized.
Time to look at Section 4, Under the Hood, how it actually works. For all the developers tuning in, you might be sitting there wondering, okay, how heavy is this thing to run? Well, to understand the architecture, we first have to define the foundational primitive of this entire system. What actually is a bot? Simply put, a bot is a Hermes profile. It's just an isolated folder that contains configuration, memory, skills, credentials, and chat history. And it's all safely stored on your local machine under your user directory, right in .hermes/profiles/the bot's name. That's it. That is the core building block making all of this happen.
When you compare the two sides of this, it's pretty fascinating. On one hand, you have this shiny, seemingly complex front-end UI with jumping avatars and dedicated rosters and bots talking to bots. But the reality of the backend is just beautiful in its simplicity. Opening a chat, that's just standard cross-profile session navigation. Creating or editing a bot, that's just writing the existing profile's gateway RPCs, things like list, create, and configure. Even the bot-to-bot messaging is really just executing a real command line interface handoff right there in the background.
And crucially, this means absolutely no core patches, no weird background daemons running, and no extra storage bloat. This plugin is simply a brilliant UI layer riding entirely on existing profiles and gateway RPCs. It doesn't bloat your system at all, it just reorganizes how you interact with the power that is already sitting right there on your machine. All the customizations, like your cool avatar choices, live purely in the plugin's own lightweight storage, so your actual profiles stay perfectly clean.
All right, final part, Section 5, Getting Started, the installation rules.
If you want to get this running today, it's literally just 2 quick steps. Step 1, you run a standard git clone command of the Noose Research Hermes Bot Mode repository directly into your .hermes/desktop plugins/Hermes bots directory. Or, alternatively, you can just download the plugin.js file right into that same folder. Step 2, open up your Hermes app, hit Ctrl-K, and select Reload Desktop Plugins. Or, just restart the app. Almost instantly, the Bots tab and the Routines tile will just appear.
Now hold on, there is one very important catch you need to know about. This is a desktop app plugin only. You absolutely must install it on the machine where the Hermes desktop app is actually running. If you're a power user with a remote home lab setup, like say your gateway is running on a server out in the garage, but you run the actual app on your MacBook inside, do not install this on that gateway server. It will do absolutely nothing. It has to go in the Apps Side Desktop Plugins folder on your MacBook.
Just to quickly wrap up the system requirements here, you're going to need any recent Hermes desktop app build that includes the plugin SDK. Now, to get the absolute full feature set, and by that I mean the advanced editing and the AI avatar generation, you do need a Hermes Agent build from mid-2026 or later, because that's when the required RPCs were introduced. But honestly, in a really clever design choice, if you're running an older gateway, the plugin actually feature detects this and degrades super gracefully. The core roster and the chat features will still work everywhere, so you aren't completely left out in the cold while you wait to update your backend.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer on Hermes Bot Mode. You now have everything you need to turn isolated code into a collaborative, scheduled, and highly personalized team of AI workers sitting right on your local machine. So I want to leave you with this final thought. What task are you going to automate with your new digital staff? Are you going to build a team of deep researchers, maybe a coding squad, or just an automated daily assistant? The possibilities are literally entirely in your hands now. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and happy building.